Mayor Isko Moreno says he will work with anybody from all shades of the political spectrum should he win as president in the 2022 elections. Moreno launches his presidential bid Wednesday, September 22 in Tondo, Manila, where he presents himself as a politician who will end divisive politics in the country.
I will be a healing president. While ours will be a government of national reconstruction, it will also be a government of national reconciliation based on justice and rule of law.
He says he will not fixate on finding someone to blame for problems the country will face. The 46-year-old presidential aspirant also promises to be a consultative leader who listens to both suggestions and criticisms, adding he will institute an open governance policy. While Moreno doesn't mention President Rodrigo Duterte's name during his speech, he makes several jabs at the current administration.
557 days na po tayong nasa quarantine. But instead of flattening the curve, we have flattened our economy. Yet many people continue to flatlining in our hospital. Bagamat balot ako ng dumi sa katawan, ni minsan hindi ko kailangan sabunin ang aking bibig. At sa kalagitnaan ng pag-iikaos ng matinding gutom, na mas malakas pa ang hilab ng tiyan kaysa sa aking dasal, ni minsan, hindi ako nagtampo sa Diyos. Hindi ko siya minura.
In an exclusive Rappler Talk Newsmaker interview Tuesday, September 21, Moreno lays out his plan to address the COVID-19 pandemic while ushering in economic recovery.
While we're opening up, or before we open it up, kailangan mapapanatag natin yung mga doktor at nurses that there is enough facility, equipment, medicine that are available that doctors can prescribe to help a person, severe person and critical person survive.
He says doctors and experts in appropriate fields will be tapped to lead the government's pandemic response under his administration if he wins the 2022 elections.
I will involve an infectious doctor. I will involve a pulmonologist. I will involve those people who knows how to manage yung hospital administration. Key people, a specific career on a specific task, creating an orchestra, playing different music.
Moreno says this is the reason he chose Willie Ong, a doctor, to be his running mate. Ong joins Moreno's 2022 campaign while still in Lakas CMD, the Duterte administration allied National Party. In the same interview, Moreno also says he won't block any effort to grant a new franchise for broadcasting network ABS-CBN if he wins the presidency in 2022.
I will not lift a finger to oppose it. Any person, corporation can avail such right, such opportunity under my watch.
With the probe into crimes against humanity looming over him, President Rodrigo Duterte warns the United Nations against any interference into his brutal war on drugs. Duterte says this in a speech delivered Wednesday, September 22 before the UN, days after the International Criminal Court opened an investigation into his bloody war on drugs.
Mr. President, we face multiple crises that demand effective global governance. Yet our institutions, including the United Nations, have proven to be inadequate. The UN is a product of an era long past. It no longer reflects the political and economic realities of the world.
He slams the Security Council, the pinnacle of the UN structure, for being neither democratic nor transparent in its representation and processes. President Duterte also slams rich countries for hoarding COVID-19 vaccines at the expense of poorer countries like the Philippines. In the same speech, Duterte also criticizes the inequitable distribution of COVID-19 vaccines across the globe.
Mr. President, the picture is bleak. It is a man-made drought of vaccines ravaging the poor countries. Rich countries hoard life-saving vaccines while poor nations wait for trickles. This is shocking beyond belief and must be condemned for what it is, a selfish act that can either be justified rationally or morally. The plain fact is, this pandemic will not end unless the virus is defeated everywhere. Vaccines are key to achieving this.
As of September 8, only 14.37% of Filipinos have been fully vaccinated.
Need more context, clarity, and perspective? Get the full picture with Rappler Plus. With exclusive content and events, you'll get an opportunity to discuss issues with reporters, experts, and featured guests while helping Rappler continue its fearless journalism. Join now.
The Justice Department puts Julian Onpin on the immigration lookout list after a local prosecutor decided to temporarily release him pending an investigation of his case. Ongpin is the boyfriend and companion of artist Bree Jonson, who was found dead in a La Union resort on Saturday, September 18. Based on the initial police report, Jonson's body was found at the Flotsam Jetsam Resort in San Juan, La Union. In an interview with ANC, police say the initial autopsy report shows Jonson's cause of death is asphyxia or suffocation. The police arrested Ongpin after he tested positive for a drug test and cocaine was seized inside their room. He claims his girlfriend's death was a case of suicide. Jonson is a renowned Filipino contemporary artist. Her boyfriend, Julian, is the son of prominent businessman and former Trade Secretary Roberto Ongpin. On Tuesday, September 21, Police Chief General Guillermo Eleazar says the La Union Prosecutor's Office temporarily released Ongpin while the probe is ongoing. Jonson's family members are dismayed by Ongpin's release but continue to pin their hopes on the country's justice system. Following their speech at the 76th United Nations General Assembly, K-pop group BTS visits New York's Metropolitan Museum of Art to present a gift from the South Korean government. The group was joined by South Korean First Lady Kim Jong-sok. The Met's Twitter account says BTS presented the Met with leading Korean lacquer artist Chung Hee-cho's Rhythm of the Five-Color Luster. Rhythm of the Five-Color Luster consists of 5 vessels whose colors relate to Obangsik, a traditional Korean color spectrum. The piece will be featured in the Met's Shell and Resin Korean Mother of Pearl and Lacquer exhibit in December. BTS leader Kim Namjoon, or RM, also speaks about South Korea's arts and culture during their visit, saying there are still many great Korean artists yet to be discovered by the world. RM adds, as special presidential envoys, BTS feels a special sense of pride to be able to help showcase the works of other artists from their country on international platforms. Composed of Jin, Suga, J-Hope, RM, Jimin, V, and Jungkook, BTS is the biggest pop group in the world today. Prior to the COVID-19 pandemic, the group had been performing in sold-out concerts all over the world. Marcos supporters attack actress Angel Luxin for her martial law anniversary post on Instagram. Luxin posted a quote saying, "Those who do not learn from history are doomed to repeat it." The actress ended her post with the hashtags "Never Again," "Never Forget," "Marcos is not a hero." Two showbiz industry mates, TV host Bianca Gonzalez-Ental and director Dan Villegas, expressed their support for Luxin's post. Marcos and Duterte social media supporters aggressively attacked Luxin and Gonzalez-Ental, body-shaming Luxin and even wishing bodily harm upon the two celebrities. The online supporters of Marcos and Duterte have been exposed by Rappler as a disinformation network of real people, troll accounts, and bots. The swarm also echoes the standard line from the Marcos camp about people not having lived through the Marcos years and not really knowing what happened. In another post, Luxin shares a photo of her weight loss journey. This comes after being body-shamed on social media and even in a DepEd module in the past. In her post, Luxin reminds her followers to love every inch of themselves. In June, Luxin shared on Instagram that she started on an 800-calorie diet as recommended by a nutritionist. It's been a challenging fitness journey for Luxin in the last few years. In 2015, she suffered a spine injury that left her unable to train and do stunts for Darna, which she starred in as a titular superhero in 2005. In a 2019 interview with Boy Abunda, she said the condition kept her from doing many physical activities.